Hear the stories of men and women switching hustles and escaping the odds through entrepreneurship after prison. Not only will these stories inspire you, but also unlock business tips for financial freedom. Thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds. I got my main man here with me today, Chef Fresh Taste Bakery out of Bronx, New York. The man is doing dope things, man. Went from baking in the kitchen, doing other things, to actually a nationally known pastry chef, making infused cupcakes and pastries, man. Definitely got to check him out. Get his story today. He's been on Good Morning America, the New York Post. Man, the cat is everywhere doing his thing. So I want to welcome my partner, Chef Fresh. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Yo, top of the morning. Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. Glad we had a chance to do this again for sure.
Yeah,
So
I'm
how
loving
everything
it.
going, man? Let the world know, man, what's going on with you, man. With Fresh Taste Bakery and the whole nine, man. Your story, everything that you're doing, just lay it out for them.
Yeah, man. It's a blessing right now, first and foremost, to be on a platform escaping the odds, man. Because that's definitely what we about, escaping the odds.
Absolutely.
Um, like Ace said, I'm Chef Fresh, CEO and executive pastry chef for Fresh Taste Bakery, which is an online bakery platform based out of the Bronx, the whole New York City, pretty much you could say. We deliver online and we offer pickup service.
Okay.
We've been in business about 4 years, January. I'm self-employed 4 years, 4 years off parole as well, 5 years, category one, So all this is a blessing.
No, I absolutely, man. So of course, everybody we bring on the show pretty much has experienced some kind of involvement with the criminal justice system, and just showing the world how, you know, we can come from that situation and change the narrative and be entrepreneurs and provide value to the world through products and services. So I'm gonna go back a little bit, man. Just kind of give you a backstory. Grew up in the Bronx. Eventually went to prison for significant amount of time. So if you can get into that, and then kind of later on we'll get into the business of everything that you got going. But just kind of let the world know like where you come from, man. How you escape those odds of imprisonment and also living in the Bronx.
Well, actually, I gotta correct you, big bro. Like,
Okay.
I ain't grew up in the Bronx full time. I'm from Peekskill, New York. That's a
Okay.
place in
All right.
Westchester County. If y'all
Okay.
not familiar with that, that's like where Yonkers, Mount Vernon, like where the Locks is from, DMX,
Okay. Okay.
Heavy D and all of them. So I'm from that area. So that's really why I was running around getting into my stuff.
Okay.
We about 45 minutes from the Bronx in Manhattan. So, that was really the pipeline coming back and forth, reading up out there and bringing it
Yeah.
back up top. That was my connection. And I was trapping. I was a hustler. Like, that was my thing. I was big on sales coming out the gate, like 15, 16, growing up in my neighborhood. Single mother, only child, and my father wasn't really around. So I found structure in the street. Like, I was raised right. Don't get me wrong. It was a choice. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, what was me and all my environment. Like, nah, I made a decision to get into the street. So that's why I was always 10 toes down and accountable for anything that I got myself into.
Right. And so what you got yourself into, you eventually went to prison. And like what was that whole experience like, man, for you, man? Was that your first time around, or you had been
Nah,
back and forth a little bit?
I actually had did two county bids, 8 months twice. And then like all in a very short time, like 8 months, came home, 90 days, caught a sale, out on bail a year, back in 8 months, home
Okay.
6 months, went up north for 3 years right after that. So it was just all like boom, 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 man.
Right.
After that, I came home at 24 and I had to make a decision because at
Yeah.
20, I was doing the same thing that 30-year-olds was doing. We had the
Yeah.
same cars, same money, same clothes, same places. So I
Right.
felt like, they say you can become a millionaire 10 years worth of work, bro. So I just looked at that like as a waste. So I promised myself that at about 30, I wanted to be doing the same thing. But slipping up and getting jammed up, I ain't
Yeah.
come back home till like I was 24. So I was like, yo, we've been doing this. We've been hustling. Let's try something different because we got to survive. I have 5 years, category one parole. That's a trap in itself. And I know I didn't want to go back. So I had to put myself in a position to do something different. And I put myself in a work training program in
Okay.
Brooklyn called Ready, Willing, and Able. And I didn't like it took me 8 months after I came home before I learned pastry arts. Like, let me not give credit to the New York State Department of Corrections. Like, they ain't produced me. Like, I learned painting and decorating up north. Like, I came home and discovered culinary arts and pastry arts. You
Okay.
know?
Okay.
And ever since then, it's been on because like my niche is like goes back to my backstory to the hustling part. When I was in the streets, like whipping up was my thing, like putting my material together. I was really hands-on, like the chemist part. And I pretty much mastered that at a young age. So it was getting me jammed up. So I had to find something positive to do with those skills. And once I discovered pastry arts and the fact that everything was in grams, ounces, pounds, and kilos, I was home. Like, I was back into reactions and getting different products and different qualities of material. Like
Right.
it was basically transferable skills, bro,
Right.
And I've been winning since 2012, bro. Like just with jobs like 2 felonies, drugs and violence, it means nothing. My last 2 jobs is on Park Ave. It's the value that you bring to the table. It's not your felonies and all of that stuff.
Right.
Like what you bring
I,
into the situation.
I'm glad you said that, man, because oftentimes, people may feel like, you know, they've been in the system, got a record or whatever. They feel like they don't have anything to offer. So for yourself, what do you feel like that value add is to right now? I won't even say to an employer because I know you're not going that route, but pretty much like to your customers and for your brand, like what's that value add that they can expect from Chef Fresh and Fresh Taste Bakery?
Well, first and foremost, at Fresh Taste Bakery, we don't just sell cupcakes and desserts. We sell experiences. You can get a
Okay.
cupcake from anywhere. But people come to me for the experience, how I talk to you, the customer service, how we handle you, how attentive we are to listen to you, any adjustments. Like I'm a visionary, so I'm here to bring your vision to life
Right.
as much as I can, and that's what we sell. And it's just a blessing to be a part of so many people's memories, like so many special moments, like that my hand's been a part of, like industry moments, Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
moments, birthday parties, baby showers, like
Yeah.
gender reveals, like so many. Like I got people. I've been in business 4 years. I got people that have come back every birthday since I've been in business.
Yeah.
And it's like that's their moment to come back with me, whether it's once a year, whether it's a couple times a year, whether it's through referrals, but it's love with this stuff, son. Like that's the give back part of it,
Right. No, I seen your been checking your Instagram, been following you a minute, man, since we growing a relationship with each other. And that's one thing I can say, man, is like your involvement, your engagement, man. It's like I was telling somebody else, man, like your page is like it's pretty, it's vibrant, you know what I'm saying, because of colors, you know what I mean? And I had an experience, man, with with someone who provided like infused cupcakes, and they gave it to me. It was like there was nothing to it because the first time I had heard about it or seen anything like it was from your website and what you do. And so I had an expectation, like when I knew I was getting, like, okay, all right, I know what they gonna look like. At least that's what I thought, because my frame of reference was your stuff. And when I got it, I'm like, no, I say, no, this ain't it. You know what I mean? And so that's why
Set
earlier
that
when I
bar
thought,
high, bro.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to. It's all part of brand and the packaging, right? And so one thing we talked about earlier was like being able to ship out to other different areas, right? You know what I mean? Because right now, I think you just wasn't like the tri-state area. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
pretty
Okay,
much.
so
Honestly, we hand deliver everything as far as you willing to pay. We charge $1.50 a mile, so
okay,
we
right.
like
So that's about 1,500 to get something to me. You know what I'm saying?
that.
That's a lot of bread though. But we talked about infrastructure, getting to that point, where you can provide these cupcakes and these pastries, man, to a lot of people, man. So I definitely look forward to doing that. And one thing I can respect what you said is like you want to make sure that the infrastructure, everything is tight first.
Facts.
Oftentimes as entrepreneurs, man, we just want to rush out and get that sale. We don't think about everything that encompasses around it to be able to support what we're doing, and so I definitely hats off on to you on that, because we hustlers, and you see a lane, you're like, man, I got to get it. You know what I mean? Somebody wants something in Seattle, I got to try to get it to them. But like you
Facts.
told me, it'll come there. The pastries will get there, but what it's gonna look like when it get there. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Just
Mhm.
because of the elements and the whole nine. And so definitely I appreciate you kind of breaking that down to me.
Well, yeah, well, I'm playing long ball, eh? Like this ain't no short run, like you feel me? Like I'm not just out here just like I'm hustling, like just making sales and just collecting the money. Like I'm actually keeping my books. I actually can tell you like how many red velvets I sold this month, last 6 months, last year, how many
Okay.
carrot cake cookies, like, and that gives you core vision to be able to improve your game. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Yeah.
about just the sales. And a lot of people, when they get caught up in the sales, like you might be selling plates and you might flip like 3,000, but how much did you put in? And did you even jot that down and know what you really seen? And did you count the materials, the packaging, the bags, and all of that other stuff? So it's
Right.
like it don't really be accurate. People just be satisfied with the cash flow. You feel me? You actually
No.
gotta give you that vision, man. That's what I'm doing. So that's just
Yeah.
helping me elevate every year.
And what you just talked about was systems, man. Like putting systems together, and that's what business is about. So everything can kind of run
Infrastructure.
exactly with efficiency. And and that's real important no matter what business
Yeah.
that you in. Let me ask you this, bro.
Because
You
I
talked
hate
about
double
the
work, bro. I hate double work. So
oh,
I'd rather do it
absolutely,
right
yeah,
the first time. And
yeah,
sometimes double work is expensive when you play in real life. And you know, I'm sorry, it was a mistake. Now you got to pay a bill now. Like, I'm
yeah,
conservative. You feel me?
yeah. You know what? Hey, I used to say, man, like when I was in the streets, mistakes cost.
That.
Like, and I'm
Right
not
there.
even just talking about like just from a monetary standpoint. Like in that kind of environment, the wrong move can cost you your freedom, cost you your life, cost somebody else their lives or whatever. And so just being able to it's a saying where they say measure once, cut once, measure twice or something like that. Yeah, cut once and measure twice. Basically just doubling up, you know what I'm saying? Making sure that you don't have to come back and do it again. And so I try to live by that because like you said, man, I don't like double work. Time is money, you know, and
Nah,
that's
that's a
what
fact.
that's what business is about. So you talked about memories, right? And on your Instagram, man, there's a whole lot of dope memories, man. Like a lot of stuff
That's
that
what I
you're
want
doing.
to. That's what I want to share with you too, bro. Like, it's
Yeah,
like on my Instagram, like we want to talk about marketing. Like, it's
yeah,
a lot of pictures of my customers with my product. You know, like
yeah.
you go to my stories, you'll see other people with my product. I'd rather let the people show you and tell you how good my stuff. I can tell you all day how good it is. But when you see
Yeah.
like actual live audiences and clients and customers letting you know those is like a referral system, that's marketing, bro.
No,
You know?
absolutely, all day long. What was probably because you did a lot of big events, right? Industry events,
Yeah.
things of that nature, galas, stuff like that. Like, what was probably the most memorable experience you've had? You know what I'm saying thus far with your brand.
Oh man, it's a few, bro. The most memorable. I would have to give you two. I give you
Okay,
two.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
I would say I just did last November. I did a big speech with the Doe Fund, which is the program that I graduated from with culinary arts.
okay,
Like as a success story, like I got to go and be a representative to them and tell my story. And I wrote a big professional speech and like on a big stage, 300 people that paid $1,000 a ticket. Like I have my desserts in Cipriani, which is Cipriani, New
right,
York City on 42nd Street. I could look that up, like, and see
yeah,
what that's about. And just have pictures of me in there, have my family in there. Like it just was a dope experience. That was really big. Like that was like some spot where John Gotti be at and all of that. Like upstairs
okay,
in the pamper room. And
okay,
the second one was I'm a brand ambassador for a black owned vodka company called Plush Vodka. So as part of brand ambassador, I created the Plush Vodka infused plum cupcakes because Plush Vodka came out with the only plum flavored vodka on the market. And with me creating that cupcake, we were able to get them at the NFL alumni brunch in Atlanta. It was in Atlanta, Super Bowl 2 years ago. Because last
okay.
year was Miami, but the year before we had it out there, and I got a dope video from that with my product out there. Deion Sanders, like just the whole room, like so that was really big for me too, man. So
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
countless, bro. I can keep going. Honestly, it's so many dope experiences that God has blessed me with, and honestly, He's really elevating me and showing me like Well, he's put me in position to be an example for the people that came from where I come from, like, you know, and that's what I live for every day. Just because I came out the mud, bro. Like they counted me out, bro. You feel me? Like, and so now it's just letting people that really know and seen that with this success, they know they can do it too. They know ain't no excuses either. It's what you put in, you know?
Yeah, hey man, I can imagine that speech was definitely inspiring because
Powerful.
all of our conversations, man, it's like we motivate each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like we watching each other climb. You know what I'm saying? We come from the same place and just kind of being able just to motivate each other. What would you say to pretty much anybody? I just don't want to limit it to the men and women that come out of incarceration, man. But
Oh
somebody
yeah.
that got that dream. You know what I mean? They want to start that clothing boutique or whatever. Like, what solid advice would you be able to give them, man, to kind of to make them push and keep going?
I got you. But first of all, that speech you were just talking about, if anybody
Yeah.
wants to check it out on Fresh Taste Bakery on Instagram, is on my IGTV. They could definitely hear that.
Okay.
Now, as far as advice for anybody just trying to be an entrepreneur, start a business,
definitely
market research.
Gotcha.
Understand what you're getting into. Like, learn as much as you can about it. Research who's the greatest in that lane, who the top 10, what are they doing that's making them so great.
Yeah.
Emulate them and bypass straight to the top. Set your standards at a pro level, but at the same time, have experience in that craft too. You got to put them hours in. Because I work, don't get it twisted. Like, I worked 5 years before I went and started this in hotels, restaurants, and bakeries.
Okay.
I have a formal culinary school education. I took 3 free culinary programs coming home from prison, and everything else was work experience, pure passion and hunger. So that's what got me here. So it goes into any lane you want to talk. These eyelashes, the nails, the hair, the barbering, cooking. Like, you just got to put the time in to understand the different aspects of that business. Like, I've worked in wholesale bakery, culinary instruction, management, food only, bread only, doing actually plated services, making ice cream, like
every aspect of it.
Yeah, a lot of the packing, the strictly packing department. I got put in the packing department because the Hurricane Sandy happened, and I just got the bakery job, doing commercial mixing, big batters, and they was ready to lay me off. And I was like, yo, listen, I take a pay cut and all that. I can't get fired. They was like, yo, we're going to put you in the packing room. I thought it was a punishment. I learned the whole infrastructure of wholesale and retail, and the fact that how this wholesale bakery was selling to all these other companies wholesale, and then relabeling, having all their labels in there, plus have 4 or 5 of their own locations that they was flooding. And I'm a hustler. It's like putting work in different spots, bro, moving it on this side of town and this side of town, and every day just cashing out. Culinary hustle, bro. It's the same game, bro.
So just a different product for sure, man.
But back to what I was saying as far as the advice, definitely market research that. And once you see what other people are doing, you're not going to have to really think so hard, because I think we get caught up in overthinking and trying to build something from scratch when a lot of times it's already built. Like, it's already there. It's not like you really building something from the bottom. Like, you just really have to take time to research who else is in your lane.
Right. And one thing to kind of add to that as well, like how you said, it's already there. You just have to like put your own touch and twist to it. I was just driving one day, and it's funny, this is coming to my mind, where like you see these cars out here, right? Like, say Mercedes Benz or something, right? You will see them, they got their own design, but then you will see something like BMW or Honda, they'll come out with something similar, right? So it's not like like how you saying, they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Whatever is pretty much hot, you know what I mean, after doing a market research, they kind of make something, all the cars pretty much be looking the same. You know what I'm saying? But there's a few tweaks, you know what I'm saying, here and there. But most importantly is the branding behind it. You know what I mean? Because that's important. The brand is like the reputation, or what people perceive you as, you know what I'm saying? And that goes beyond your product. That's like to communicate your website. You know what I'm saying? Like you mentioned earlier, the customer experience. That's all wrapped up in that whole branding and that experience for that customer. So branding is very important to make sure that your reputation is one that actually matches or exceeds your product or services.
Most definitely. Definitely, and efficiency, like just efficiency, doing what you say, keeping your word. If it's whatever time it's going to be, like I like to say, like I don't like to raise my clients' blood pressure. I don't want them to feel nervous. Is he coming? Is it late? What's
Right.
going on? I don't like once you start rattling people, they're gonna tell people about that. That's uncomfortability. They may not want to experience that again. You gotta make it easy. You want to make it feel good. Like
Yeah.
this is advice. You want to make them be like, wow, I could do that again, and it came quick. And it came
Right.
nice. You feel me?
Right.
Like, so those is all
So
tips.
so let me ask you this, man. As far as
Hold on
like
real quick.
hiring,
Hold on real
go
quick,
ahead.
bro. I wanted to ask something too. When I said see what other people is doing, I don't mean like copying and nothing like that.
Right.
What I mean is like see what the game is doing and then see what it's missing. Or see how you
There you
can make
go.
it better or what you can
Exactly.
add to it. Because it might be like, for instance, there's somebody that made the old school the coffee thermos cup, the coffee maker,
Yeah.
then someone else put the timer on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You
Right.
understand?
Yeah.
Two
Add
different
value.
people.
Yeah.
Somebody made it better. You know,
Yeah.
so that's what I'm more or less saying. Like I'm not saying like how you said add your twist to it. That's what we mean by the twist. Make it
Yeah.
better or add to it. You know, I
Right.
just wanted to
But
clear that up.
yeah, no, absolutely, man. We know we don't do no copycatting over here, right?
Fact.
For sure. So, and it's like
We about
really
to
like
say
in the
hiring.
yeah. As far as with the hiring, right? I'm gonna get to that part, right? But basically, we never want to. I guess emulating is one thing, you know what I'm saying? But then actually going out and trying to really just copy somebody else, and but like you said, it all comes down to brand marketing and research and stuff like that. But yeah, as far as like the hiring, man, like is that something that you're doing right now, or like are you reaching back out to the guys that come from where we come from and say, hey, because exposure is everything. Like you got like while you were locked away, like you said, you was doing painting and decorating. You had no intentions on
No
doing
intention.
anything with culinary, right?
No,
But you
none.
realized that there was a transferable skill, and but until you was exposed to it, and then
Exactly.
it's like, okay, wow, and that be the problem, bro. Like oftentimes, like we're not exposed to something. I always say that like we're a product not of our environment, of our exposure. It's certain things that I learned. I had to go to prison and be around certain individuals. I had to learn certain things because I just wasn't exposed to it. And so, are you exposing, far as guys, far as like maybe potentially hiring them, putting them on to the baking industry or just culinary as a whole?
That's a fact, bro. First and foremost, like the hood is the box, bro. You know, the hood is like a fish tank. Only certain things go on in the hood. Like,
Yeah,
you got to step out the hood and see the rest of the world. Like, see how other people's living, see how other type of housing establishments is living, and other types of just etiquette. Period. So, I want to lay that down first. Second
okay.
of all, one of the main things that helped me change my life and just grow in a better way is that I had a mentor, man, Caucasian guy. He worked for Ernst and Young, which is one of the like top finance companies in the world. Like, and as a finance mentor, he invited me to his office, which is on 42nd Street in Manhattan, and brought me up to the 47th floor of a building that I had to get my face scanned and all that, come to the lock
Wow.
turnstiles, and got me sitting down, looking down at Times Square, like
Yeah,
blessed me with I'm running around doing my work off of Samsung tablet. I ain't had no laptop. He
yeah,
blessed me with a laptop from his brother that was a computer programmer. So like it's a lot of pay it forward in my story. Like somebody opened it up for me, so I always had to give it back. So in the midst of what I do, I actually motivational speak at high schools, middle schools, elementary schools, all across the 5 boroughs, as well as Long Island and my own hometown in Westchester County. So with the high schoolers and the alternative school kids, particularly like those guys, I'll be building like dope relationships with because I speak their language, and
hmm,
a lot of them do have culinary aspirations and goals, and I'll be right there because I'm so seasoned. Like I could definitely navigate them, point them in the right direction. I'm a culinary instructor at Restaurant Opportunity Center, Rock, New York.
wow,
So
okay,
we teach a free culinary program 4 times a year. So as the pastry chef there, I got first dibs on on those classes for bringing back to my company, as well as the kids from the schools, as well as dudes that's coming home that actually can show that they ready to be responsible and actually go with protocol and bring value. Then I got you, of course.
Man, that's what you just described, man. That's the difference between having a product and a brand. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that you're doing outside of none of that. You mentioned selling a cupcake. You know what I'm saying? It was all services, and you know what I'm saying, and giving back, and that's all part of like that reputation and brand.
Bro, for free, bro. I wake up early and go to these schools for free
right.
on my own time. I'm self-employed, bro. Like you feel me? Like that's another trick to be self-employed. You gotta stay active. You gotta come sometimes do as much as you can. You gotta get involved with events and go places. You can't be an entrepreneur and be antisocial and be an introvert. You gotta be social. You gotta want to speak. You gotta see who's in the room. You gotta see what type of players you're around, man.
No, I absolutely, man, and that's key. Like I've always been an introvert, but it's like when it was time for me to sell something or about business, I became an extrovert. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, for the most part, I'm pretty laid back. And I think that because I don't want to discourage anybody. You know what I'm saying? That may be like more introverted, because there are certain businesses that a person can get in, but as you stated, you do have to kind of have some kind of social about yourself, whether it's through social media or whatever, just so people can kind of get a piece of your personality as well. Because again, it's you're an extension of your brand. You know what I'm saying? And so speaking of that, like what was far as one of the challenges you would say, like far as building your brand, like from the beginning, like if you can look back, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, when you was just kicking out Fresh Taste, like what were some of the challenges? Like the biggest challenge for me, it was like technology, social media, and stuff like that, because I had never experienced it. So, but I knew that I had to leverage social media as a way to kind of get the brand out there. What was yours?
I would say learning how to utilize the people around me, like learning the value of an accountant to a banker. Because I'm good at networking. I'm a serial networker.
Yeah.
Like, that's the part what I meant about being social. You want to be able to have good people around you, assets around you, and get the liabilities away from you, so you ain't got to complain about them. You feel me? Like, or them actually risking what's going on in your situation. So if you actually surround yourself with other asset people that's bringing value to you, life would be a little bit better,
Yeah.
But just the fact that I can now put like broker deals pretty much, like, like understand, even without going to college, bro, even without understanding they full business, just, bringing them together.
Yeah.
And just being able to just be able to be financial literate, honestly, without going to college. Like, because I had opportunities to be in rooms with big executives, big board men. And like I said, I'm that guy that's going to step into that circle and see what that conversation is about, and put my input and see what I could get out of it.
Yeah.
But when you holding those type of big conversations, coming from the hood, coming from where we come from, and if you're not seasoned into that lifestyle, that etiquette, it's going to be like you speaking choppy Spanish to some people that's fluent Spanish, and they're going to know you're not Spanish. You feel me? Because your Spanish is not real right. So when you speak your financial literacy, you got to be using the right words. Even when you're talking about what you're doing and what your business is, you got to understand what you're saying, and it got to make sense. Especially when you're trying to, leverage other people's abilities and skills. So that's something that I used to always work on. I ain't like when I went to places and they talk over me and make me feel like I ain't know what I was talking about. I'm going back to the books and I'm learning. That'll never happen again.
Right. No, absolutely, man. With your product, right, you're able to, I guess, collaborate with other brands, right? Because it's alcohol infused. So you got the Hennessy, you got the Ciroc, and things of that nature. Like, what are those conversations like? Like being able to potentially get that official like sponsorship. Like how you have with the black-owned vodka company. Like what does that sound like? Like what does the communication look like to be able to say, hey, look, I got this dope brand, and I think that not only because you always gotta make sure that what you offer is not only we know it's valuable to you, but like to be able to express that and communicate and articulate that to that other partner. So how do you do that?
Well, proof of concept is super important. Proof of concept means the idea works. You feel me? So you got to have that first and foremost. If I can show you, hey, Patron, there's 100 people over here, 1,000 people over here that's loving these Patron cupcakes. I got like they say these is good. Let's work. Like, you know, that goes back to being social and reaching out again. But a lot of times when you're doing good work, they'll come find you. So how I feel about it, like it's a blessing to be working with to have worked with Bel Air and Tito's Vodka and Plush Vodka and had places like Fireball Whiskey, Smirnoff, Hennessy reach out to me, like, and it just lets me know who that dude is with the liquor desserts that the liquor companies is coming at me. You feel me? So letting me know who they know to go get it from. So let me know that my hard work is paying off. You feel me?
Yeah. Hey, so how do you say innovative? Because as of late, man, I've been seeing a lot of like, you know, alcohol infused cupcakes. You know, now you got the with the marijuana kind of being legal in a lot of states, a lot of people is infused in that. But just the whole culinary infusion with alcohol. Like, how do you stay ahead of the race, man, and like be able to let people know, like, hey, look, that's them over there, but we Fresh Taste Bakery right here. How do you do that?
Well, I'm a culinary chemist first and foremost.
Okay,
so,
all right. Okay.
You know, so I play with flavor profiles and just reactions and just like, I like to play with the tongue. Pause. You feel me? Like that's that goes back into the experience part. Like it's Fresh Taste Bakery. Like we emphasize that. You can't be saying you fresh taste and not bringing fresh taste. Those are just big words to live by. So I emphasize on flavor and just, you know, just give you that pure. So staying innovative is just a matter of me just staying creative. You know, just having that time to just manifest, bro. Like honestly, you'll just go back to market research again. What is the game missing?
There you go. So what have you taken from your experience in the streets and flipped that into the positive and switched hustles with it with Fresh Taste Bakery? Like, what was like one or two things that you like, man, you know what? I took that from my experience in you know, in the streets with it.
Try 1,000 to 2,000 things, beloved. You said one or two things. The whole thing, bro. Like get it for the low, sell it for the high. Must have a supplier that's going to give you wholesale quality product, reputable, whether it's packaging, whether it's material, customer service, delivery systems, being able to have workers and team members be able to represent you and know how to select and have manageable people. Just the sales aspect of it. Like it's the whole thing. Like I survived the pandemic maneuvering like if it was a drought, reading up extra heavy like it was a drought because the stores had lines. And then with curfews and stuff, I was maneuvering like if it was just a raid, like the feds came to say. And just that, you know, sometimes they say when you move a little paranoid, you be a little bit safer because you a little bit more back from certain things. You feel me? A little bit extra things. So it's a little bit less likely that things will happen to a paranoid person. You feel me? Okay. So when you're moving like low key like that, you under the radar. You get more done. So these is all abilities and aspects that I had to bring from the game into what I'm doing. Like,
you know what I like what you said is use the word drought. You know, and during the pandemic in the early stages of it, that's what it was. It was a drought. You know what I mean? It was high demand and low supply. You know, but you took what you knew from back in the day, from hustling in the street, something negative, and you flipped it into something positive and said, you know what, now I know I got to buy extra sugars. While everybody else is buying extra toilet paper, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to buy extra sugar, flour, and all the material and the supplies that I need to kind of to make sure that I make it through this drought, through this pandemic, you know? And so I think that was brilliant, man.
My pounds is up, man. Like at least 300 pounds flour, sugar. And honestly, it goes back into the street aspect again. Like real hustlers know, man, the more work you got, the more money you're gonna get. Some people be scared to re-up. Like you might be comfortable at re-ing up at a certain number and don't want to stack that bread to get to that next number, being lazy.
Yeah.
Having that more product made more cash flow. for me at
Right.
least. So that's another thing that I was like, yo, that's just like the game, like, you know. So I see a lot of correlations in entrepreneurship.
Yeah, so definitely investing in yourself, taking that chance and that risk, to spend that extra money instead of going and go shopping with it. You're like, okay, let me dump all that back into the business. So that's
Now
what you did.
reinvest and then get to a stable position, because it's like, what you want to buy jeans, or you want to go you want to go to Paris? Like, it's levels,
Experience.
you feel me?
Yeah,
You could be
absolutely.
flying your block, or you could be, you know what I'm saying, do something different on the road, or
Right.
invest in something, like, you know.
Yeah. So what's next for you, man? You got a lot going on, bro. Like what can we expect to see from Fresh Taste?
Well, we're going into the holiday season, so y'all stay tuned for that. Thanksgiving, we're gonna have the sweet potato pie, pound cakes in New York.
Okay.
I'm working on this shipping, man. I gotta be able to do something for at least for the shop, man.
Oh
You
no,
feel me?
definitely. No, definitely, man. Hey,
But
look, when I do step into New York, that's one of the first things
it's
I gotta do, man.
quiet. It's
And
quiet.
definitely check some of them joints out.
It's quiet.
So what's all your handles, man, where they can contact you, man, and reach out to you, whether it's for motivational speaking, branding opportunity, collaborations, man. Like how can we reach you?
Y'all can definitely find me at Fresh Taste Bakery on Instagram. You can
Okay.
find me on Facebook at Fresh Taste Bakery. My website is www.freshtastebakery.com. You can message me there. You can see some of the work. Honestly, like I'm blessed, man. Like, y'all can even Google me. I see some dope interviews, Black Enterprise. Like, y'all can find me on Yelp. So check me
That
out.
yeah, definitely, man. Hey, I want anything you want to add, man, before we close this thing out. 'Cause, hey, we could talk forever, bro.
You know us, yeah. Now,
Yeah.
listen, anybody got any advice? If y'all come to New York, man, definitely reach out, come get an experience, man. And it's not just infused cupcakes, man. We got mini cheesecakes, we got brownies. I'm famous for my carrot cake cookies. Like,
Okay.
those is the innovation. You feel
Yeah,
me? Like,
definitely.
those
Absolutely.
is the game changer. We was talking
Yeah.
about addiction. I got people that crave them things. They be like, yo, listen, man, I don't even bring them in the house. They in the
Right.
car. Wifey can't get them. Hubby can't get them. Like,
Right.
those
Right.
those is real. So yeah, check me out, man. I take care of y'all, man.
Hey,
Tell them,
man.
tell
Look,
them, tell
bro.
them
Hey.
Escape from the Eyes sent y'all, man.
Hey, absolutely, man. Hey, man. I'm proud of seeing you do what you do, man. Like I love to see it, man. You know what I'm saying? You got a dope brand, man. Dope product. And so more stories like Chef Fresh, escapingtheodds.com. You can hear the actual audio podcast on Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Pretty
Yeah,
much we everywhere. You know what I mean?
yeah,
YouTube channel, escapingtheodds.com. We
yeah,
got a lot more in store. A lot more in store. Just bringing these stories, unlocking freedom, financial freedom,
yeah,
physical freedom,
yeah,
opportunities over penitentiaries. That's what we like to do here. So thank everybody for tuning in.
yeah.
Like, share, comment, follow us. Escaping the Odds podcast. Definitely, man. Just stay in tune with this, man. And thank you all for tuning in.
Nah,
Peace.
definitely, man. Peace.